May 17th, 1942. If on the Eastern Front, time is not on your side, what would you do to gain more of it? What would you do to delay the inevitable Axis summer offensive? Well, in the mind of the Soviet High Command, you launch an offensive on your own before your opponent. And if the Germans have proven to be too strong to be fought directly, then this week it's time to see how well the Hungarians will fight. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode of War in the East 2, the online game challenge. And there is one reason of why I decided to start the recording of this episode in this specific sector of the front. Because by a funny coincidence, turn 48 starts on May 17th, the very same day in which, in our real life, the Soviet Southwestern Front, led by Timoshenko, went on the offensive against the Germans in the sector of Izium and Barvenkovo, exactly in this area over here, to attack Kharkov from the south. And in this, let's say, timeline, I will not focus on Kharkov, maybe not now. But I will focus against Belgorod, and my idea here is to, maybe as I said it already in the last episode, but is to attack the Hungarians and literally buy time. I will trade land to buy time, but instead of pulling back, I want to push westwards to buy time, and I want to force my opponent to fight me in this area, and then maybe eventually retreat behind the Oskil, and maybe behind the Don River in late May, early June. And this is why let's say, I've sent my air force on a bombing spree against the Hungarians. Over here, I wanted to use the 2nd Air Army, so this one here of the Bryansk front, but because of the range of the bombers, only one, let's say, patrol was made over here, and over here I used the Southwestern Air Command. And by the way, it's interesting that now I finally see the air armies coming on the map. Interesting. It gives me like a feeling that something is happening within the Soviet Air Force finally. And overall here I also use the Long Range Air Command because, you know, big bombers are always good to use. And I will show you in a moment the overall losses, but there are quite a few losses amongst the Hungarians. So, events, we have the Soviet partisans, and then on the turn summary, 21,000 losses, 167,000 men on the map, and these are all the juicy, ooh, look at here, all the tank cores. About damn time, I would say. And 71,000 moved from the theater boxes, and the Axis gained 26,000 men overall. So, the losses, we have 12,000, 21,000, okay, 1.2, 5.2, oh my god, I forgot about these gigantic losses, okay. Air losses, yeah, okay, 108, 109, of which 108 due to the flak. Interesting. And 105 pilots lost. That's pretty brutal, I would say. And if we now look at the order of battle on the map, I mean, that shouldn't be crazy. Oh, look at this, 6.3 million. Oh, I love it. There is literally no way that my opponent can ever win this campaign. Like, literally no way. No freaking way. So, besides this, oh yeah, wait, the losses. 12,000 men, of which, if we now look at the Soviet airface, that's interesting. I would say, at least, I didn't do the math, but if you want, you can have a look. Yeah, you see, this was nothing. I've lost one bomber. So here just 11 men were lost. Here 81. So you can do the map, the math by looking at this. So I think that the Hungarians south of Belgorod got pounded more. Yeah, look at this. 368, 272, 131, 109. Yes, 109. 208, 303, 124, 144. I mean, you get it. Like, although I was expecting some more effects because of the massive amount of bombers, but it's okay. It's okay. So I would say I wouldn't think that all of these are, or maybe they are actually, men killed, like 6,000 men. Okay, divided, let's say, between 3, that means 2,000 men per division. That's a bit strange. Anyway, I'm not here to think about how many Hungarians lost their lives because of the Soviet bombing. I'm here to smash through the Hungarians this week and try to ideally maybe surround Belgorod, or at least push the enemy towards the Vorskala, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but ideally I want to push them behind this river and maybe reach the to have like a small salient over here behind the Psel. And then if everything goes fine, I could even just pull back over here and you know, just force my opponent to divert troops and maybe to damage his railways. Actually, what would be very nice from this offensive would be, on one hand, okay, to liberate Belgorod. On the other hand, would be to maybe push over here and severe the backmarch Kursk railway line, you know. As long as I force my opponent to move around these FVD units, it's always nice. And before going on, I would say there is one more thing that I wanted to tell, but I honestly forgot about it. Yes, I completely forgot about what I wanted to say. So I really got old. Anyway. I think that's all for this interaction, folks, and I let you enjoy the rest of the episode. Alright, folks, so, yes, I think we'd say now, with joy, with immense joy, that the time has come to go on the offensive once again, even though, yes, so, let's say, I am a bit optimistic, because having failed already in, let's say, January, February 1942, the winter offensive that ended up in a complete catastrophe for the Bryansk front, having failed the offensive of the Crimean Front, I would, so, okay, the offensive of the Crimean Front failed, but only because I was facing the Germans, because against the Romanians, I would like to remind you very friendly that the offensive was successful, which to me really indicates that instead of attacking the Germans directly, I should maybe attack the non-German combat formations. And, you know, seeing this long sausage, green worm of Hungarians, you know, it's so tempting. I could not resist attacking it. So it's kind of, it's obvious. It's an invitation to go on the offensive, unless it's a trap. Unless really it's a trap, and again my opponent will pull out some shenanigans next week, and he will surround the men that will try to surround the Hungarians, or you know what I mean. But you know what? It's now May 17th. I don't know when my opponent will go on the offensive. I don't know where he will go on the offensive. So you know what? There is no time to lose. The weather is not on my side. I mean, it's not the best, but still is not, let's say, the weather to just, you know, hello, we can just roll our thumbs and wait for the enemy offensive. No. If I want to delay my opponent from launching his offensive, I have to go on my offensive again on my own. And judging from the victories that the Red Army units are now achieving against the Hungarians, I feel confident that this offensive will be much more successful. And I would say the Soviet High Command is already thinking in something big, because if this offensive is successful, I will then reinforce this Southwestern Front with as many troops as possible, and I will just keep pushing eastwards until all of the glorious motherland would have been liberated. Maybe not all of it, but ideally, if this works, and if I I managed to catch my opponent by surprise, I could swing southwards and force my opponent to retreat from the Donetsk River. And let's see, I don't know. But for now, the goal of the offensive is to encircle the enemy garrisons in Belgorod and to displace as many enemy units as I possibly can. And with Belgorod isolated, next week the enemy garrison will fall, and then yes, it will be as one small step towards the final victory. And well, what else can I say, folks? That's already it. That's all from my side. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you all again, as always, in the next episode.
Crimean